KYOT. Coyote.
Halo Landfall, a series of short videos released in the year 2007 for the promotion of Halo 3. Halo Landfall is a legendary series amongst Halo fans. It's hard-boiled, gritty, and most importantly, it's believable. Who made these helmets and how many are truly out there? We can digitally duplicate props to be shown on a massive scale, but undoubtedly, this suspends disbelief.
50 meters ahead, turn right!
To get closer to this awesome Halo short film, I got curious and I wanted to know where they filmed this outdoor combat section of Halo Landfall. The hills in the background with the vegetation type look different enough to not look like a Hollywood backlot location. But surely I can find the location on Google Maps with a little bit of searching. So, turning to the internet, I found that the AI search overview thought I was referring to the terrible Halo TV series. Blech. Of course, Halo's Forward Unto Dawn gets caught up in the mix, so they were showing me a variety of locations for those Halo series, but not Landfalls. However, an interesting site, 405th.com, appeared. Whoa.
Who was first contact?
405th out of Diego Garcia.
Interestingly, Diego Garcia is a real place within British territory in the Indian Ocean. Now, let me guess, everyone knew about this little place, except for me? Okay, well, I know about it now, and I can see that it draws a parallel to Mombasa. So entering the 405th website, someone by the name of Cadet typed Landfall was filmed at a landfill in Wellington, New Zealand. Well. Visiting Wellington via Google Maps and typing in landfill navigated me to Landfill Road. Alright, perfect. Now, could it be a joke, I thought? Play on words, landfall, filmed in a landfill? But Wellington, New Zealand, it's just so specific, and these hills look very much like the hills in this shot. Okay, that sniper rifle shot is always going to be cool, but to back up a moment, I mean this shot of the hills in the background. If I can find this hill with what looks to be homes or a few buildings, slightly obscured by some trees, with probably a road running horizontal of the hill, this may be a good indicator of where Landfall was filmed. And I believe these communication towers and this massive piece of concrete is added in digitally in post-production. They look convincing and they fill the background space in a quick shot like this. But pausing the video, they just look slightly off. And I believe that brute to be fake. I don't think New Zealand has brutes running around and training them to act, but I could be wrong. Alrighty, so I want to look for possible buildings along a ridgeline. It's not to say the buildings or homes could not be digitally added. After all, they clearly wanted this location to look like Marines were fighting around a military communications outpost of some sort. And nowhere around the Wellington landfill hills are there any structures exactly like this with a radio tower. But where have we seen a radio tower like this before? Halo 3 has a lot of them. Radio towers look similar in general. But could it be that digital assets for Halo 3 were sprinkled into this Landfall video? Or at least inspired elements? After all, it's a Halo 3 promo. To make a Halo world come alive, I would make real-world locations with digital Halo elements woven together. So I went to the nearby ridgeline with homes near the top of the hill. And keep in mind, I cannot get an actual on-foot angle of this location. It is not a street view, nor is anyone really taking photos standing in the middle of a controlled landfill. But I believe this area is the hot zone, where Halo Landfall was primarily filmed for the outdoor combat scenes. Since Landfall released in segments following Halo 3's September 2007 release date, Landfall would have been filmed probably late 2006 to early 2007. Since then, the terrain which the actors were running and driving the Warthog on has likely changed considerably. Which brings up another aspect to this film. The actors do drive this warthog around, so they certainly need the space to do that, even if the speed is embellished with the camera shaking in those short, quick shots. And the infrared shots can certainly make it seem like they are putting the pedal to the metal, which I think most of them are just digital warthog driving shots. In any case, the landfill section close to the public road, let's call this Section Alpha. That makes it easier. Section Alpha looks like it has a lot of space where they can get the warthog up to speed, whatever that speed would have been for that vehicle. I was also using some on-set photos as reference. See on the side of this hill, there's a large amount of dirt with a sharp line of vegetation. Could that be the same location where this photo of the warthog was taken? Well, it's tough to say, but what is known is there is a distinct line of dirt to vegetation, as seen here. Although this is very common to see in landfills, as layers of soil are utilized for a landfill to function. Now, it's time to take it to Google Earth. I promise this is not a Google Earth or Google Maps commercial. On Google Earth, we can turn back time. So I went to the same landfill and went back to 2007 and 2006 when I believe the filming timeline took place. Wouldn't that be cool if I saw the film crew out there actually making the film? Well, I didn't see anything clearly enough to determine if a movie was being filmed. In fact, the three-dimensional terrain distorts the previous satellite images, making it difficult to really determine the details you're looking at. From this shot, you can see slopes in the background, covered with some dense vegetation. I believe these are the slopes being shown on the west side of Section Alpha, adjacent to the ridge with the homes. With how the slopes are connected to the main body of the hill, it further seems as if Section Alpha is the filming location for Landfall. For fun, let's check out the other segment of Wellington's landfill. We can call it Section Bravo. It's much further away from the public road. Section Bravo is much larger. It certainly has similar hills as it's right next door, but I'm not as convinced as I am with Section Alpha. I thought this hill may be our sniper shot angle, but even the ridge does not line up if we are taking the natural terrain into consideration. It's cool to explore Section Bravo and think of where they could have filmed Landfall. Logistically, however, I think the film crew chose the path of least resistance. After all, this is a landfill that needs to operate without any warthogs and actors getting in the way. The film crew likely had restricted access for the duration of filming. They weren't able to just drive around wherever they wanted to. It would make more sense to choose Section Alpha, much closer to the public road so they can quickly bring props for the film in and out without going up any steeper pathways than they needed to. I mean, imagine trying to haul all of the compressed air for the explosion effects and the concrete walls that were likely large foam walls, but having to bring all of the environmental sets on site, set up and then tear down all under time constraints. I believe Section Alpha is where it all took place. And wouldn't it be cool if you lived in one of those houses to know that Halo Landfall was filmed in your backyard? If you have not seen Halo Landfall yet, or it's been a long time since you have, I'll link the video in the description below. I'm glad a film like this exists, even if it's not even 10 minutes long. And if you happen to have better insight where Halo Landfall was really shot and can show specific coordinates, please let me know, because I love using satellite imagery to find where films were shot. If you're new here, go ahead and check out my videos that I made. Last time I checked, a lot of my videos are about Halo mods, but I further use Google Maps to find locations in Halo 3. You can check it out here. And thank you for watching.